What up, y'all? You know who it is, your boy JD Kiss, you know what I mean? Right now with Chris John. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey, all my niggas out there. Let's get right into it. Yeah!
BTBTV. Chris John, man. Yo, born, let's get him, man. Yeah. Right never now. Off plan. Used to get busy with them guns in my hand. 4 or 5 or a black 9 with a grand in my pocket and beef cool as a fan. BTBTV, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This a boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Yeah. Hop on the bridge, throw your frame off the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay on chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. But we the best, I swear. We the best, I stay up in the mix. A project politics, my mood kinda sick. Name well known from the hood to the sticks. 100 on the highway, flying so fast, burn the gears when I shift. Some people kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them and they got the nerve to play you. Kick raps door off, pushed and shoved my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. The jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghost. We fight good, boxed in like Floyd on the ropes. I'm the great black hope. Man, we the team and they know it coast to coast and it just ain't fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you can be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best, if you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair. BTBTV. Just ain't fair, man. Yeah. Yo, Born. Show them how we do this, man. BTBTV. We bully the bullies. No run, no retreat. Yeah. BTBTV. One more time for y'all in the back. Y'all slow ninjas. Rah. Yo. John Gotti flow, rap Pablo, Escobar status, rap game Corleone. I can show you how you lay back and watch your pockets grow. Stay away from devious women, end up like Papa Smoke. Y'all wake up every day twitching, like yo, I gotta post. I wake up every day mission, it's $1 million notes, dominoes, bodies drop, rot stink like hollow toast. Broadway, man, if you know, then you know. I came for everything they said I couldn't have, got that and then some, and then some. My ones on overload, say y'all overdose. Your rappers in the tight squeeze and that clutch like Cobra rope, the okie doke. We don't go for that. All she wrote, another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the folks who wanna play till them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street, like an opera show. These kids be acting to their life movie, curtain closed. Nowadays your foes will plot you wearing Malcolm X hats, 666, the devil on his shoulder, won the death match. Reminiscing when more street ninjas was off the hook, chasing D's up off the block, trying to run and get the force, blood on pavement. He's 12 years old and he tough to play with. He don't go to playgrounds, that's his fiends who want their veins stick. We can't miss, we can hit the target with our hands behind our back, our eyes closed and half brainless. Don't play with us. Another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the foe who wanna play till them guns scream adios. Another the street, black mafio. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street like an opera show. These kids be acting till they like movie curtain close. Yeah, BTBTV. It's the movement, man. Yo, Born.
Born, get him.
Let's get him. Kaz, we up in here, man. Hood famous.
Monkey Man, salute. Jersey Rich, wax, salute. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can't hear you. Can you salute Jersey? Can y'all hear Born? Cause I can't hear him. Or can y'all hear me? You can hear me? Okay, can anybody hear Born? So I can't hear you, Born. Huh. What up, Kennedy? Hold on, let me. Okay, you can't hear Born. Born, we can't hear you, Born. For some reason. Yeah, I can't, we can't. Like, try to refresh. Almost heard you. Almost, I heard something. Yep, you got to maybe refresh. Salute to everybody. Y'all make. Nope. Nope. Just refresh the screen and come back in. Yeah. Yeah. Salute to everybody. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Born, man. Y'all also go follow BTB TV Sports Media, right? Where he sits over there. He's going to break down all of the sports things, everything everybody doing. Yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to build on that. I appreciate everybody coming in, rocking with my man Born this morning. Y'all salute. Y'all see the title. It says, Brother Polight gets 7 years in prison, right? I don't know if y'all know, if y'all been following Brother Polight, and we've been following him because he's been going around saying that he wasn't going to get no time. He said nobody was going to do anything. He said he didn't do nothing to the girl.
Yo, y'all hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Salute, salute. I was just telling the squad here that they see the title. The title says Brother Polight gets 7 years in prison. Also, I told him go subscribe to BTV TV Sports Media. Y'all, please subscribe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Christian. We're gonna get him out of here. Today, Born is gonna do his work and he gonna get him out of here. Brother Polight, he got to go. He got to go.
Yo, let me say something, yo. My apologies to everybody that couldn't hear me. I don't know. I guess my thing was messed up on my microphone, but yo, check this out. Let me say something real quick. When this thing first happened, I was telling everybody that followed Dr. Malachi York, Dr. Malachi Pork, that most of the people that follow him was alleged pervs and pedophiles.
Right.
But nobody listened.
Fact.
You hating on a black man, you hating on a black man. Like, no, bro, it ain't about being a black man. It's about being a righteous man, dog.
That's it.
Dr. Malachi York gave over 875 little boys and girls herpes. Why do you think he got all the life sentences in prison? It wasn't because he didn't do, it was because he did do. And I told y'all this. As soon as Brother Polight caught that case, I said the nigga was guilty. Because I know how them type of niggas roll. They roll in packs. They savages.
Well, you know what? Christian said something. He said, and what we talked about, I'm going to trial. I don't care how many years they throw at me. You're absolutely right. You suppose, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, if you didn't do that, why would you plead out? And what we were saying is the reason why we feel like he pleaded out was the fact so he don't get certain circumstances. Because how you go from a life sentence to them end up only giving 7 years? Something ain't right.
Yo, bro, what that tell me is, bro, I'm gonna keep it. What that tell me is, he telling on other niggas too, bro.
Okay.
He telling on niggas. He telling on niggas. That's the only way you get that. He throwing other niggas from the hold on, this is my microphone. The conscious community under the bus right now. Because we heard about a lot of niggas, man. It just him, bro. There's a lot of niggas. Fucking, we got African Bambaataa, we got Hassan Campbell, all these so-called conscious community niggas.
Fact.
Everybody, you God, but I'm not conscious community because I don't subscribe to their bullshit. I'm not calling a woman God, nigga, because I know the true living black man is God. Let's get to that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's do your homework on that.
Let's do your homework. Facts. We're the sun, we're God, the woman is the earth and the moon. They reflects the light of the sun. So she can never be God.
So I got a question for you, King. So in this situation right here and what we done seen and it came out, I don't understand how a person, if you never did nothing and you didn't do no harm, especially to a child, and your whole goal is to preach health, having a mental mind state.
Yeah.
But then at the end of the day, you telling me you decide that you're gonna plead, and then his whole and King's gonna get to it. He got the receipts, y'all. That he talks about how they didn't find any DNA on the girl. So the problem is people fail to realize back then the mother spoke out as well. They overlooked what the mama said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you do your thing, King. But
No, bro. Yo, bro, we built it before we built on it, and we're gonna hit everybody with the facts as we go in, bro.
No, that's
real
what
it
talk.
is.
So I just want to think that a lot of times, especially in a situation like that, the mother, regardless of whoever culture, y'all gonna see, because I think she didn't play that. The fact that, and you got to ask yourself, if you comfortable with doing that with a child, if somebody else in another culture, you got too complacent in doing that. So they had to start somewhere. You didn't start the first time. A lot of times people get caught up because they doing stuff they ain't got nothing to do it, and they ain't got no business doing it, and they become complacent with it. So I think that's how he got caught up, because I felt like he was doing it way before then.
Yo, I'm about to show you something right now. I'm about to show you where it all began from, with this pedophile, just pedophile stuff, yo. Let me show you real quick, because I like to keep it real, bro.
Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button, comment, subscribe, share. We about to build today. It's about to go up. Again, whoever he claimed to be, Brother Polight, gets 7 years in prison for something he said he didn't do. He pled guilty.
This is Amanda, who loves a lower price. And this is Fernando, who just had to click twice. CVS helps with your health and your wallet, with 85% of scripts under $10. CVS.
Fair use.
Like the same thing. The same way I'm talking to you.
Far stuff, yeah. Here we go, yeah. Here we go.
You won't help him anyway.
Facts, Monkey Man. Facts.
This is my boy Mob Ties, real quick, bro.
Salute Mob Ties.
Power car salute. Power car salute.
Y'all
Let's
go
get
subscribe.
to it.
Subscribe to Mob Ties.
I'm about as real as they come.
That's a shout to Monk the Monkey Man show.
Yeah. Maserati Rick in Detroit, convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude. Strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game. Grateful Evans with the snowflakes. Craig Pettis in the M-Town. Sal Magluta with the boat game. Falcone with the cocaine. Like Freeway Ricky with the plug game. Like Monster Cody and South Central.
Y'all make sure y'all share this content, man.
Shout out to Dr. York. You know what I mean? He's doing 135 years right now. Hope you.
Like Dr. Malachi York, cause I talk like Dr. Malachi York, cause I talk like Dr. Malachi York. Play the sidewalk, hold.
Let me tell you something. Not only will they persecute you, they'll lie on you. They'll fabricate lies. They'll imprison you and create cases around you. The same way they tried to defame Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then they tried to defame Malcolm X, and then they even tried to defame Dr. Martin Luther King by some secretary. That's what they'll do. They'll imprison you, and then they'll create lies to turn your own people against you. They'll persecute you after righteous name's sake. The same way I'm talking to you, they're going to come after me eventually. Believe me, they're going to say, that man is too dangerous. I don't like him. Let's make some lies up on him. Let's turn his people against him. Let's imprison him. And if we can, let's kill him because his people won't help him anyway.
Like the great Dr. Malachi York was, cause I talk like Dr. Malachi York. And there was Dr. Malachi Z. York, consulted by the son of Malachi York. Doggy.
70 miles southeast of Atlanta, Eatonton is the seat of Putnam County, best known as the dairy capital of Georgia.
Oh, they got 400 and something acres. Goes up to that corner, y'all.
William Larman is a dairyman, and he's talking about his new neighbors.
Oh, yeah, I'm happy for them.
But they are not dairymen.
Because they said they come from what? Ritz. Planet Ritz, I think.
It is not a joke to the people who've built these two large pyramids and...
Yo, my cousin Yusra in the building. Yusra, hit that link, bro. And let me know what you think about Malachi York. Hold on, one second, y'all. I got my big cousin in the building. Peace to the guy, Yusra Muhammad. Yo, Yusra, hit the link. Yo, I'm going to send you the link. Hit the link, bro. I want you to explain Dr. Malachi York. You've been in the Nation just as long as I've been in the Nation, man. Let's get it popping. Scott Swizzy, salute, yo.
Salute, salute.
On some 400 acres of rural Putnam County farmland and woodland.
How many people
salute Queen, Miss BTV in the building.
The place that granted our
BTV in the building.
Inside the secured gate allowed us to watch the workers build new ceremonial structures, allowed us to listen close up to the continuous chant broadcast from a speaker bank at the top of one of the pyramids.
For our people that want to get spiritually in tune with the you know,
but for the most part, sidestepped our requests for answers.
What about the guy from another planet?
We'll make sure you get all of them.
Are they a cult?
Depends on definition of a cult. Certainly there are many characteristics similar with other entities that are defined as cults.
Let's get it, y'all. Let's get it.
6-7 months.
Jerry, our tour guide, says he came here from Alabama. The sheriff says most of the other residents come from the Northeast, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore. How many, including how many children, is unclear.
He's unknown.
He's known by many names.
The group's leader is identified in literature as Malachi Zodok York, the Supreme Grand Master. He is described as a charismatic speaker and apparently a prolific writer, producing monthly newsletters and dozens of books.
He says that he is from the 8th planet in the 19th galaxy of Heliwan, a universe far outside of this one. Does it make sense to you?
That's in the book. If he wrote it.
OG Classic Jones, peace to the God indeed.
Dr. York is from...
Yeah, peace, OG Classic Jones.
He's from Orion. What's the deal? It's nothing strange. It's just new to the public.
The vast majority of cults are started by an individual who's extremely charismatic, who's very confident, very commanding, in some cases very demanding, expects an awful lot of the followers.
So this is the Compound nightclub?
No, it's not a compound.
Oh, it's not a compound? I'm sorry.
Not at all.
The centerpiece of the Putnam County property is a nightclub the group opened in October. At midday, it was in high decibel preparation for an upcoming party. Outside, there were parked 3 stretch limousines.
Oh, it's an Egyptian theme park.
This is a theme park?
An Egyptian theme park.
Now, there's some people who think this is a cult.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at it. We don't happen to have a religious belief. You follow what I'm saying? Now, on the other hand, culture, there's a connection there. So if you say we're a cult in the sense of we found a culture that works for us, yeah.
Are they dangerous?
I have no information.
These savages, bro.
To indicate that they are dangerous.
What they are is a roadside curiosity to native Putnam Countyans. And to the folks inside the gate, a community with children and entertainment and an Egyptian theme and a leader they call Grandmaster who writes that he's from another planet.
Maybe the spaceship come in here and I could get away with him.
You see all that we're building out there?
Yeah.
Does it look like we're going anywhere soon to you? We build it. It's so beautiful out there. It's a beautiful, peaceful environment where we invite any nationality, any race to come out and visit.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Polight.
Look at Astro about to see it.
Ties. We on our way to Brooklyn with it. But this story has ties to Sudan. It's really gonna hit the fan in Putnam County, Georgia. But before we even really get started, I really want to say this is probably the hardest mob ties that I had to do.
Yo, check this out, y'all. Hold on, check this out. Before I let you hear him talk. This nigga look like African man bottom father, bro. Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at these weirdo ass niggas, bro. These weirdo ass niggas, man. Salute John in the building, John Muhammad in the building.
Peace to the gods and earth, kings and queens of the universe.
My big cousin Yusuf Muhammad in the building. Peace, cuz. Peace to the God.
Peace, guys. Peace. Peace, guys.
Yeah, we got John Muhammad in the building too, God.
Peace, God. How you?
Peace, God. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam, black man. Good to talk to you. Good to be on with you.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Let me ask you something, cuz. You know, we've been this all our life, yo. From my father all the way down to my aunt to you to me. What you think about Dr. Malachi York? Even our cousin, she followed Malachi York. Dad.
Oh, I thought so. I thought they
Yeah.
Her whole
yes,
family,
they did.
right?
Whole family, yeah, one time, yeah.
Yo, well, my opinion. By the way, your mom just left the crib, bro.
Oh, she did?
Yeah. She picked up my father, so they out having lunch. And,
that's what's up, yo. That's what's up.
Yes, sir. So, about Malachi York, I joined the nation back in the 90s, early 90s, the Nation of Islam, and at that time, I believe Malachi York was real popular on the East Coast.
Yeah, he was.
Northeast.
Yes,
so I used to see the literature floating around, but for me, that science that they would drop was too high for me, brother. To be honest.
Too weird.
Pardon me?
Too weird, cuz. That shit was weird as hell.
Yeah. For I was 19 years old. I just read the autobiography of Malcolm X, so that was plain. Yeah. That was plain to me, the autobiography. But I couldn't deal with Malachi York, brother. But I know quite a few people who went that route. But what I think about him, after the year, I think about him the same as I think about any other pedophile in our community, brother.
Facts. Thank you.
I think he's where he belongs, but not really where he belongs. For all the people that he destroyed, the lives he destroyed, the young men, the young boys and girls.
875 kids, boys and girls, cuz. 875.
And they have mothers, and they have family members that's destroyed and traumatized and have PTSD or whatever, from his actions. It's brother, I think about him the same. I think of any pedophile.
Facts, cuz.
I think I don't want to go into detail. It's just showing. I want you to start.
You go into details. You go into details, man. I'll bite my tongue on this show. Yeah. I'll bite my tongue and I'll dance and I'll say, you music. Nigga, let's go. Facts.
I'm gonna try to check my emotions at the door. You know how I get, cuz.
Right. Real talk.
Actual facts.
We got problems in our community, man. We got problems in our community, and this is prevalent. This is prevalent. It's not limited to this guy. It's running rampant, and it goes back to why
the women feel unprotected. Black women feel unprotected. It's because we don't protect them as we should. You know, we got vultures and parasites in our households and, you know, our extended families, and nobody's protecting these young girls. And it's so bad that nobody's protecting the young boys right now.
Indeed, yo.
I mean, you know, we need
Jersey, salute the whole panel.
Salute.
45 salute, bro. Go ahead, cuz.
So, you know, I think we need to, I don't know, we need to reassess our situation as men. You know, we gotta instill discipline in our young boys so we can raise them to be protectors, you know, in our households, you know, and the young sisters too. We gotta teach them how to protect themselves, how to speak up for themselves. Don't trust nobody. Trust in, you know, it's almost
your
nobody.
higher power.
Trust in your parents, because the people that they're trusting are breaking the trust. So
Hey,
we
yo,
gotta protect them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say something. Real quick, because I remember back in the day with Malachi, he was popping in Atlanta. He wasn't popping up here on the East Coast like that, except for them weird niggas in Bronx and Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? But he's popping in Atlanta. He had what's the rap group name? Everybody said the best rap group of all time in Atlanta. The weird nigga wear the dresses.
You talking about Outkast?
Outkast. They followed up Malachi.
Benjamin Andre.
Oh,
yeah. She went like Brother Yusuf was speaking on. We a little bit older. I'm from Brooklyn, so I remember the Ansar Road Nation in Brooklyn as a youth, and I used to get in debates with the brothers from the Ansar Road Nation because I was a prominent young 5%er. So when I used to get in debates with these brothers, they used to always deflect the narrative into a science that's not applicable to reality. Period. Like you got something with no foundation, no resource, no resourceable research, so that you can't find out whether there's a actual connection to what we believe and what we see and what we study, or there's an actual connection to what's right, which is universal. So when I seen that, I was at the point in my life then when I went to prison and I came home, they had went to Atlanta. But in that transition, I was discerning my next move because I had reached a height in the 5% Nation as positioning. I knew there was something more for me to do within the lessons. So that's what led me to the next graduating stage of joining the military, which we recognize as the NOI, and I became a FOI. Then I incurred some of them brothers when I used to go on tour in the music industry. And of course, that was about the time when he was first beginning with those accusations. And then those accusations became factual when they was proven in court. So the detriment to our community, like the brother Yusuf was speaking, is really based upon the black man and not the black male. And we need to start contesting these black males to remove them from perpetrating a fraud as a black man. And these type brothers come into our community with eloquence in their speech, and that creates an acceptance with the people. I was, and it's messed up, bro, that we're taught in Islam, bro, believe nothing on face value.
That's right.
So if you believe nothing on face value, you have to be proactively prepared to encounter and induce the encounter of someone that's impressing those type things on you. Belief is really nothing, bro, if it's not brought into practice. So if you believe anything, like I told the sister yesterday, if your religion isn't based on science, then it's not a religion of righteousness at all. So those things are applicable, and he began to have this fanatical world of Egyptology, and that science is for a purpose. We take it as if it's supreme when it's non-effective in America, which I got into a heated debate with one of his followers, his brother Polight, and had to defeat him in a heated debate a few years ago on the internet about that comparison. Like, you're not doing in the community what we're doing. See, and he was trying to make it as if the Nation of Islam was deviant to their duty in the community, and I had to deal with him on that. And the same thing with the rest of these brothers, bro. They come around under the guise of good, yet they're functioning from a foundation of deceit and wickedness, bro. And it's self-grandizement.
Yeah, another level, just another level of scamming the people. You know, scamming is pervasive. It's pervasive in our community. It's scamming.
Facts.
So almost to the point now that we're celebrating, like, yeah, I scam. I'm a scammer. What do you do for a living? I scam. You know, it's in music. It's like we're highlighting that's what we do, and like that gives us some prestige. Who could be the better scammer? So these guys who speak these lofty words, and they have some knowledge, obviously, you know, because they got to have an attractive power to the people.
God, let me explain to people where Dr. Malachi got his knowledge from. He stole it from the Nation of Islam, the 5% Nation of Guys and Earths. Hold up, what's the Israelite? He stole it from the Israelites. He mixed all that shit together, and that's what it became.
And he was an entertainer. Wasn't he an R&B singer?
I was just about to say he was an entertainer. Yeah, he was an entertainer, and he come from it's his father and mother was in the ministry of the church, so he was honed in the ability to present himself to the people. He had that ability since, you know, genetically. So he was already, you know, that guy. The problem is he was, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is educated as, we have become the children of our slave master, bro. So the black man got brown and black skin, but inside his mind, his functionality is just as white as a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
And we have become that. So we victimize our people because the only victim we ever seen in life was us being victimized.
That's right.
So we live in that reality, and that's something that we as black men have to start contesting continually, bro, in order to protect our women and children.
Right. And when we don't speak up on these predators in our community, is we're giving them a pass. We're condoning it because it may be our friend, it may be somebody who helped us at one time. But wrong is wrong, and you nip it in the bud. You address it, like, you know. And I don't know if this conversation is going to move on to his son, you know, who got to 7 years, who just admitted to being a predator. But
speak on it. I ain't hear about it. Speak on the son.
You said you didn't hear about it?
Nah, the son was saying about his father. He talked about his father the son said his father was a pedophile, predator. But I never heard about the son.
Polight is his
son,
right?
Polight.
Yeah, Polight. Yeah,
Polight. You talking about Polight?
Yeah, Born got the video. Yeah.
So we aware? Are we aware?
Oh, I thought it was just his son in his nation.
That's how Polight recruited all the people based on that platform of popularity from his debauchery.
I said what I'm saying is I thought Polight was just a follower of you. I know that was his son.
Nah, that's his physical, right, beloved?
Yeah, I believe that's his physical. He advocated that's his physical.
Yeah,
but if not, he does call him his father. He does call him his father.
Sure.
Because in his debate with me, he was trying to first I got at him because he tried to defile the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Right. That was the base of the argument, because while I'm listening, he starts speaking wickedly about a lie that this government has imposed on us about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So I cleared it up. So and then when I challenged him, bro, it's the people on the internet pulled it up. When he first got arrested, they were tagging me in a new, discussion they had, but they were reminding him, hey, remember the brother Ja that was tearing his ass up?
Okay, I gotta see that.
Now the same discussion that I had to defend the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's name, he's now doing 7 years in prison for the same crime he was trying to accuse the Honorable Elijah Muhammad of.
Right. But the difference is
we call it justice.
And this is a big difference, is if you heard the victim's mother, at the giving her impact statement at his sentencing. Brother.
I see that.
Did to her 14-year-old.
Hold on. I have to pull up right now. I'm gonna keep talking, cuz I'm gonna pull up right now.
What he did to her 14-year-old daughter, brother, he violently attacked her. So it wasn't like he, convinced her that this is the right thing to do. He didn't manipulate her. he violently attacked her and took something from her. I mean, either one is bad, but he violently put his hands on her, beat her up. The mother said she had bruises all over her body. Her mouth was busted. His DNA was all over her.
Right, that's what I said. Yeah, no, that's a fact.
If anybody who listens to that, the mother's impact statement, and you have still have a heart to protect these people in our community, then something's wrong with you too.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right about that.
If you're on the side of this guy because he helped you financially or he did something for you financially and you still defend his action, then you're just as bad as he is because you
Parcel. Boucher 850. In the Nation of Islam, the Nawapians are none of the same, bro. They're totally different, bro.
Nothing near each other.
Nothing near each other. The Wapian Nation is a weird organization. Talk about aliens and spaceships, and the motherland is out of space, and the black woman is God, and all this buffoonery.
And
you know what I'm saying?
Born, let me say something to that real quick. And I want all black people to recognize this. We've been in America for 483 years up under a state of oppression and decadence from a known historical natural enemy. The Nation of Islam has been the only successful black organization, religion, government structure in America that has been successful in rehabilitating and resurrecting, meaning to stand up, the black man that has been made into a slave. And I have been victorious in every debate in many circles on this very subject. And black people need to stop disrespecting the legacy of their own salvation, because it's the only organized construct in America that provides a platform of defense and advancement for black people. So all of you brothers and sisters out there that's misaligned, I challenge you to look at whoever you believe is that and show and prove their work next to what the work of the nation has done. And we're not a religion, bro. We are a government. A new government constructed on a foundation of Allah's instructions. So I want to dismiss that because our people, once again, have this bad misconception because they've been deceived by the enemy into abandoning or attacking that which has been for them. And they can't see that the Nation of Islam has done the most work out of anybody in the history of America for black people. And I say that with a slight of arrogance because it's upsetting to see the ignorance of our people. Don't worry about what a man be saying, bro. Why don't y'all look at his works? Because if a man works and words match, then he's a real man. When those words and works don't match, he's a liar. And I challenge us to study and research that in order to get a better understanding of what you're in the presence of. Peace.
Peace. All right, yo, cross. What you think of the whole? What you think of this situation? I'm about to play outside. I'm about to play outside real quick.
No, I'm with what Muhammad was saying too. Yahshua was saying, like, when we disregard the fact that right is right, wrong is wrong, and you're talking about semen, and then if you didn't do nothing wrong, I'm not pleading and attesting and pleading guilty to some things that I did with a child when that's not my moral statute, and I'm trying to teach to uplift our people.
Bro, I'm gonna do 100 years. I'm gonna do 100 years. I'm gonna do 100 years before I cop into some shit like that, nigga. That's real talk. Yeah. Yo, Wax Dog crazy. My bro Wax Dog said, Dr. York taught Bambada how to make butt babies, and he taught Poppy.
Yeah, right.
But yo, I want you to hear this real quick. This is the mother of the child, the young white woman talking about her daughter in the situation. Hold on,
has finally been served. On this day, September 6, 2023, Michael Nowak, aka Brother Polight, has been found guilty of violating his ex's 14-year-old daughter. And he's going to serve 7 years, and he will have 10 years of probation. In this video here, I'm just showing you the delusions. This man is throwing a party for himself, saying that his charges are dropped. He also posted earlier on Instagram, his charges are dropped. He showed that he was in the gym, having a great time. He's living his best life. He even made a music video, in reference to his case, which I'm going to play at the end. And no, I'm not promoting him. I just want you to see what narcissism looks like. You know, I speak about narcissism a lot. He is one of them. He's actually one of the worst kind, one that will violate a child. There's full proof and he'll still deny it. He was the cause of someone being so depressed and stressed out to where he lost his life. This sentence isn't enough. It really isn't. But he'll probably pay behind those walls. God knows what will happen there. But let me go ahead and play this video for you. This is the Zoom court hearing, okay? So in this court hearing, you will hear him plead guilty. And directly after that, I will just play the impact statement of the mother of the victim. So you guys, go ahead, use the video as you will. It's easier to just have a straightforward audio of what happened. So if you need to use this as reference in your videos, you can go right ahead. I want to shout out to the woman who posted this on her Instagram. Thank you so very much. Her name is on the actual clip that you're about to listen to. And go ahead and follow. This right here is Brother Polight's last couple of posts on Instagram, acting as if he's unbothered.
He's gonna need all that muscle to keep the boys on the
not
bully.
guilty and charges are dropped. Oh, hell no. I had to take a second to read this. DNA don't lie, but people do. That's why all the sex charges are dropped. I cannot believe this. Y'all, let's just get into the video.
Please welcome to the testimony about to give this the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, I'll need the old information. I want the defendant to be aware of what he was originally facing and what the new information. This is the new information. I didn't give it to you. Oh, I have one back here. All right. Okay, can you tell me your full name and date of birth? Michael Eugene Note Jr., August 10th, 1983. All right, thank you. You were originally charged under case number F21-14438 with the following charges: lewd and lascivious molestation on a child, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 2 was lewd and lascivious molestation on a child, 12 to 16 years, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Lewd and lascivious conduct on a child under 16 by a defendant 18 or over, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. Count 4, lewd and lascivious exhibition on a child under 16 years, defendant over 18, a second-degree felony, punishable by up to 15 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. And then count 6 is interference with custody, a third-degree felony, punishable by up to 5 years state prison. The state has now filed an amended information today,
No doubt.
charging you with the following: aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state prison. Count 2 is aggravated child abuse, great bodily harm, a first-degree felony, punishable by up to 30 years state prison. And contributing to the dependency of a child, a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable by up to 1 year in jail. It is my understanding that you wish to plead guilty to this new information. You would be adjudicated guilty, and your sentence has been memorialized in a 4-page plea agreement. Did you have the opportunity to go over this plea agreement with your lawyer? Yes. Okay. I do need the defendant to initial each page because there are not initials on these pages. All right. Noack, that you have gone over this plea agreement with your lawyer, and I want to go over it with you, not each and every aspect of it, but the major components of the plea agreement. But what I am going to ask is for the state to tell me the general terms of the plea agreement, and then we will go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. As a condition of probation, the defendant will—
What you say, 10 years probation.
10 years reporting probation. Okay. The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay-away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
That's not enough.
All right.
Nope.
Yes, Ron. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of deliberate contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931? Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program. That you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you in fact affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Taras, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noah. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your lawyer, told you anything differently than what I've just told you?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication affecting your ability to understand me?
No.
Is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to enter into this plea?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal?
Understand.
You had the right, sir, to have gone to a jury trial where your lawyer had the ability to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf, the ability to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and evidence against you, you had the right to testify just like any other witness or remain silent, and your silence could not have been used against you if you went to a jury trial. You also have the right to appeal any mistakes that I would have made during the course of the trial, and the right to hold the state of Florida to the burden of proving these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand, sir, that by entering into this plea, that you are giving up all of these rights and we will not have a jury trial?
I do.
Have you discussed this plea with your lawyer?
Yes,
Has he answered all of your questions?
absolutely.
Victim's mother, and she will be listed as victim Nowak in the Zoom, and she is requesting, pursuant to Marcy's law, that her identity remain anonymous. So for that reason, she will not be stating her name, but she will be making a statement regarding the.
Where would it
It
be?
should say victim and then in parentheses Nowak. Nope, sorry. You see it when it says victim? Nope.
Okay, yes, 1 second. All right, you may unmute, ma'am.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, so what I'd like you to do is, well, you don't want to give your name, so at this point, just go ahead and you can give us an impact statement. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Michael Nowak. This is the first time I have spoken publicly about what you've done to my daughter and I. I have gracefully remained silent the last 2.5 years. 2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares, and daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man and you could do no wrong. You made me fully trust you, and for that, my daughter trusted you too. But the truth is, you're a monster.
Monster, nigga. Demon.
The very first time that I allowed you to be alone with my daughter, the very first time, and you couldn't even help yourself. You told me you was gonna be right back. You were going downstairs. We were gonna grab food and take vacation pictures. You told me that you wanted to have a one-on-one talk with her about loving and respecting me as a great mother that I was and am. And I actually believed you. I believed that you were going to bring her right back. I thought you were going to have this trusting conversation with her that you promised me. Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you planned to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system.
Damn.
You thought your master plan was mapped out perfectly, huh? You thought I'd be dumb enough to believe you over my child. And you thought that money would blind me. You thought I was going to be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours, you actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning, and I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby and you gave her no way to seek help. You left me no way to contact her or even know where she was. I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's gonna be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with is not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her. She never deserved this. Shame on you for forcing evil on our youth. And you know, for a year, I questioned, how could you even do this to us? Her and I did nothing wrong to you. We trusted you. I moved across the country because I believed everything that you told me. But it was pure manipulation I see now. All you do is specialize in selling false dreams. How could you do this to an innocent child and mother who simply trusted you? We did nothing wrong. But you know what? I'm done breaking my head trying to question or figure out how you could do such a thing. It's so simple to me now. You're just a sick man. A man you can have a plethora of women, but you secretly prefer to have a child. And it's so clear now. I will never be able to fully trust another person due to the betrayal that you've shown me. And for that, I was not willing to trust 6 strangers and go to trial. Nor was I going to put my daughter through an additional trauma. This plea was in our best interest. You and I both know the evidence is extremely substantial. But even with that, I refuse to have my child be tormented when she's done nothing wrong. All she holds is the truth. And I will say this, although you were so worried about being labeled a sex offender, you did us a huge favor by admitting to guilt, period. So for that, I thank you. I truly thank you. Yes, mitigation took place and I allowed it as long as it meant you going to prison and you getting true help. Because true help means no more victims. The fact that your only non-negotiable was to accept a sex crime shows exactly the type of man that you are. You know what you did in that hotel room. I know what you did, and my daughter knows what you did. DNA doesn't lie. There's no reason why your DNA should have been found on my baby. And yes, I satisfied your bogus request to not be labeled a sex offender, but it doesn't take away from who you truly are.
Oh, man.
I wasn't going to waste any time going back and forth with you over a label. God will judge you for exactly the person he knows you to be.
She's supposed to do that.
Sexual predator. So
she was supposed to do that, bro. She was supposed to push. She said she didn't get him labeled as. See, remember I asked you earlier, I said.
No, she said because she want to bring up doing it. The door was about to testify if she did that.
I know that, but what I'm saying is now he's not registered as one.
They still on sex offender counseling and shit like that. So, to me, the same shit, basically. He's not registered, but he's still on the counter for a sex offender. Your job.
Yeah, that's crazy still. She should have at least.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. What you think of that shit, yo?
God, word is bond. I was saying this for the longest that when he and I were in our debate, I had asked him, I said, brother, how are you advocating pro-black to our sisters and young brothers, but you run around gallivanting and fornicating with these women claiming they're your wives? How are you a man of rightfulness and you are celebrating and glorifying financial success or luxury beyond the means of the average brother and sister that you're trying to advocate or educate? And he was stumped. He ain't had no response for it because that was the work of his hand. And right now, I asked him then, bro, why you with them white women on there? Yet you was just dealing with a black woman and then disrespecting the black woman on another show. And the brother said, well, I got many wives, and start going into his belief, you know, that Dr. York SR rule shit about what he can do, and that money was his blessing, or it was his authority of blessing, as the words he used. And I said, well, if money if money comes from the enemy, because we know that the first thing the devil will offer you is luxury in order to get you to compromise who you are. So he had no words for that, and he tried to deflect. Now those words have come to haunt him, and now justice is being served. Because on the real, bro, I seen the brother say that he would stomp his baby mom out for having around a Negro like that. And I say any man should go approach the man. When I separated from my son's mother, I went to her new boyfriend and set him down and told him a stark rule. This is your home. This is your home because you and her are living together, and your rules hold authority and precedent. However, in the necessity of disciplining my son, you call me, because I am not going to be dealing with you in any civilized manner if you hurt my son. Now, every man that deals with another woman should have that conversation with the father of those children. If that father is a real man, he would already be proactive in preparing that man for the consequence. And the consequence would be, the consequence would be, like I told that brother, hey, bro, if you violate that ever, I'm going to kill everything you love. And see, that's a statement. That's a warning. That's an active advice to a person with a mentality like that. Because once you do it, now I get to do what I do. And being a man, ain't no man should be walking around, bro, accepting no bullshit like that, no devilment like that, bro. No man. Word up. He know how the nation teach. Rape is called murder in the nation, bro. And we are authorized to handle you on that type of penalty, bro. You kill a woman or a boy or a woman when you rape them, man. You kill them. It's not permissible, not acceptable, bro. And his penalty, he should have got that 161 years.
She got a bullet in the fucking head. She got a bullet in the
Word up. No, hey, he ain't dead. They should have gave him the 161 years that he tried to plead away from.
Yeah, hold up. Now here goes Sarnetta, you know what I'm saying? Sarnetta, he was defending, but Sarnetta, he'll keep it real this while. Shout out to Sarnetta. This is fair use. I want y'all to check this out.
I'm not surprised at that. I was expecting it. Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another Sarnetta TV House of Consciousness production. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm here early this afternoon, and I got to first say that I am not surprised that my people always throw me under the bus. I'm not surprised at that. I was expecting it. This is nothing new. Even those who I claim that was my brother, who I fought for, who are my friends. I already know how niggas are. When they heard me all summer long for 2 years in a row, I've stated my case. If Polight is found guilty, he deserved to be put in front of a firing squad and need to be locked up in front of Dr. York. I've stated that, but as we can see, family, those of y'all who got intelligence, understand that's not with the narrative they trying to play. You have jealous niggas who are out there who would do anything just to get the top spot, just to get the people to try to throw me down, to big themselves up, to make it look like they are better than. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna get more deeper into that as I get all my facts ready. You know, when I come, I get all my information and I put it together and I show you certain things, man. You know what I'm saying? So right now, this video goes out for our sister Linda. Unlike a lot of you out there, we knew Linda personally. Me, Nepal, we knew her personally. You see what I'm saying? So I think what people are trying to do is just get a come up off of this whole case. You don't hear them saying nothing about the sister.
Not at all.
I just want to say it hurts me, right, to see people.
Yo, I can't listen to that bullshit no more, man. Calling a white woman what she is, a Caucasoid. She's not our sister. She don't consider herself our sister. Black Widow, salute, Coin Pig.
Facts, though.
Don't beat me in the head with that shit, man. You defended this nigga all this time. I'm telling everybody this nigga did this shit. He did this shit. No, he didn't do it. Everybody telling me, no, he didn't do it. Ain't no proof. That's proof, man. It was semen found in this little girl's clothes and face. What is this semen doing on a little girl's clothes and face? For one.
But yo, he has to do his time in population, eh?
That's not gonna go to PC, bro.
And you know it's deep though, Born? See, when you're up under the spell, see, Sonetta and he were together in debates against other people. So once again, he put Sonetta up under that spell because they got two different beliefs and platforms, but they were together in debates against like the Hebrew Israelites. They were in debates together against other people. So he coupled himself with that, and Sonetta should know for a fact. Why don't you admit that he had you duped too? See, you should be able to admit your flaw. Don't defend nothing because you know you were walking this with this man. People are going to tell you in a minute, Sonetta, birds of a feather flock together. See, if you and that man's ideologies didn't match, then you shouldn't be with that man.
Let me say something before you finish. Like I was talking about the big bro 10 toes that, you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this nigga, I was like, this nigga, was for light. This nigga, it was physical evidence. He's like, nah, I was like, yes, it was, bro. You gotta do the research. And now he's gonna see. Once a nigga cop out to something, you're gonna travel some shit like that. You don't fucking cop out. Period, man. And you still gotta go to hearings and all this.
That's a fact, Bushi. That's a fact. They made money off of them debates because they created their platform. Word up. They was on social media cutting up. And when the pandemic hit, they really went viral.
Facts.
It's all about the worst influence, bro. To get like they're nothing but devils, bro. Victimizing our own people like the slave master for profit, man. And these niggas don't realize, man, that you are a prophet for profit, as I called them. I said, man, you a prophet for profit, because that's what you're doing. You out here speaking prophetically, yet you're getting a profit from the people, and that's your whole aim and goal, because you start splurging the luxury. And that's when you see the heart of a man. He was out there partying like he was a rapper.
Yo,
when you're supposed to have been a conscious voice in the community.
Wasn't he in Hollywood partying with Chinese too?
Bro, he was out there cutting up, and he had all of these women with him, and then start claiming these women were his wives.
Don't forget about the transsexuals, transgender.
Yeah, I don't remember that one, but I don't put it past him. Like, hey, if it's his history, it's his history. But I address what I seen him with. And I asked him, bro, you just advocated for 3 straight years on the internet that you was pro-black, and you was the example. You had the black woman, you had the kids. Now all of a sudden you with all of these women and these white women and all of this stuff. Like, what happened? I know what happened. You got your goal accomplished, getting that money and getting enough people to follow you based on influence and likes. We got to stop being suckers. Let me keep it civilized. We got to stop being suckers for the same old trick, man. Word up. Men running around here like tricks, women running around here like whores, and this has become our culture, and now we're victimized by it. When a pimp come into the neighborhood and snatch up everything, when he's exposed, what we do? We look at him with a blind eye sometime, and some of us wait for the white man to do it, and that's what Sonetta did. Instead of believing his brothers and sisters, he waited until a white man said, hey, this is who he is, and then he admitted. We got to be better, bro.
Yeah, you're 100% right, bro.
Real spit.
You're 100% right. And the bad part about it, right, is nobody is saying nothing about it. It's not over the internet like it should be. It was some shit. If Jay-Z was caught as a pedophile, it should be over the internet.
You know the internet is undefeated. It will be on the internet within a week. Even Chinese people gonna know who Brother Polight is in China.
Yeah, you got a point.
I just think our people should do better, bro. I just think our people should really focus on doing better. You feel me? Because if we don't, we're gonna be messed up. And that's actual fact, Ohio, too. That's actual fact. If we do not do better right now, bro, we already done messed up. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little bit, you know, it's far much worse than it was 40 years ago, bro. Because now we have this external entity.
Listen, I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna keep it real. 40, 50, and 60 years ago, I love my ancestors. I love my great grandparents. You know what I'm saying? I love them. But they were some punk ass niggas. They wasn't fighters like we are, like we became. You know what I'm saying? They let them white people do exactly what they want to do to us. We're taking and doing what the white people was doing and thinking it's okay because they did it so we can do it. No, it's not okay. But our ancestors were some punk ass niggas. Them white people ran up all up and down the ass. Man,
now Cypher go.
Bro, I seen it, bro. I can remember when I was in North Carolina, visiting both times, visiting different grandparents. They be like, say hi to Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie, 20 years younger than him. What you call this nigga Mr. Charlie for? Mr. John or Mr. So-and-so. Fuck that motherfucker. I'm from Jersey, nigga. That's just real, bro. I seen it, bro. So you keep telling me the truth.
Right. No. What I'm saying is this. You and I both coming from an environment, bro, of parental guidance and law that did not allow that without penalty in our community. That's my point. Now we're so sublimed into the attention drug or the drug of attention that we try to side with those that will bring us favor in the eyes with others instead of challenging and combating the condition. So when it comes to our parents, our uncles and aunts of the past generation, and I'm speaking of those that are conscious, those that were functioning as men, there was far more men in the community 40 years ago rather than the males that rule the community now. And when I say male, I'm not talking about a man. Every man is a male, but every male ain't a man.
Check this out, man. I'm 47, about to be 48, bro. Check this out. When I was growing up, all I knew was women raising men. And I'm 40, about to be 48. All I knew was women raising men. The men wasn't around, bro. Young niggas like me, they was raised by the streets. Uncles came around every now and then. But basically, it was the older G's in the hood that help raise you.
That's true.
The woman of your family, bro. So I can't. What you saying? You ain't that much older than me, bro. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't understand. We're around the same age. You come about a few years,
right?
But
you 48. I'm 53. So we 5 years apart. But let me show you something. In 2023, for the last 25 years, the same way hip hop raised us from the late 70s to the early 90s, the same way technology is raising them. So we don't have the same human interaction or penalty and consequence for our behavior. And the internet shows the mentality of the people. So what I'm saying is that as a man right now, I'm doing it verbally. I'm challenging the status quo of what always was versus what is. And where we came from, we had a more enlightened environment of what to do and what not to do. We discerned what was right and what was wrong with penalties directly. Right now, you can't even discipline your children physically. You didn't have that reality when you were young. You got your ass beat for doing wrong. See, let's be real. So it's different in that way because back then, any man that was in your presence, and he didn't even have to be related to you. He could have been your next door neighbor, the teacher, the deacon at the church, the barber at the barber shop. They would have beat your ass or straightened you up when they found you walking a crooked path, bro, in their place. What you did outside of them, based on the influence that you acquired from somewhere else, was something else. But what you did around them, you didn't bring none of this bullshit that we accepting in our communities around them, bro. And that's why they look at me different now, because I'm violently aggressive against that type stuff. And you already know it, just like you are. We was raised in a different environment and we got a different result. Right now, technology is raising our children, and this nigga took advantage of that. And he used that in order to garner the influence of hundreds of thousands of people while making millions of dollars doing it, bro. Exploitation, pimping, a damn devil.
Damn devil.
Definitely the devil. But we got to understand, just because a motherfucker come in the name of Allah don't make them Allah, you know what I'm saying? That's the everyday
Hell
life,
yeah. You damn real. They come in the name of goodness with nothing but wickedness in their heart, bro. Word up. Trying to shake your hand with a razor blade in it. And I told that nigga that then. And you know I don't call another black man a nigga unless he really a nigga. And that's one that's been made by another for the sole purpose of another without any benefit or purpose to self. A nigga.
A nigga.
Fucking polite.
He was a nigga. He was big and he was black.
Man, that nigga was advantageous. He was advantageous against our people, bro. And for that, I know he gonna be dealt with when he get in there, because y'all already know how we do. But then again, it got to be somebody from our age.
In the toilet every day.
Man, it's gonna be somebody our age. Because guess what? When he go to jail, the young boys gonna celebrate him because they have been influenced with the same debauchery, and they celebrate his luxury. See, all he gotta do is get in there, tell the same damn lies. I'm in here for 7 years, but when I get out, I'm gonna take care of you, and you, because y'all already know I got the money on the books. Hey, now you get to sit back and tell that nigga like me catch you in the yard. Tell that nigga like me catch you on the block. See? Then I'm gonna confront you. You know how brothers were getting confronted in prison, bro, for that bullshit they was doing in the street, and then niggas looked at them in a certain way and started dealing with them in a certain way and made their life a living hell.
Yep.
Same thing need to happen to him, but it ain't gonna happen unless it's the mature mind, the disciplined brothers.
Yeah, catch that nigga.
Yeah, hold up. Ohio to Illinois, right? OG speaking. The Moors are the bastards, children of the Kemites. This energy was already Kemites, yeah. This energy was already created inside once he tore out of the womb and created the false universe Atlanteans. Okay. Young boy,
yeah, my recollection on the word Moor is the word that was used to describe black for about 2 millennia. And those Moors maintained or had the science of the Kemites or the Kemetic science, which is just one of the sciences of our people.
Yeah, hold on. Boucher 850. Most of the pedophiles in prison are Latinos.
Or Latino. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But guess what, though, boy? Guess what they do too, though? Guess what they do too, though? You know what they do? They get them type niggas. you know, in the shower. Behind the lockers. You know they get them when it comes.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Yeah, they be like, oh, you like that? Yeah, we got something for you. But you already know we do the worst of sex offenders in prison, bro. In the prisons that I've been in, I did time in New York, bro. We did the worst to them, bro.
Ain't no
we
difference
did the worst to them.
Hold up. Boucher, I lived in Jacksonville, bro. Ain't no difference in Latinos in Florida, New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Maryland, all that, bro. Ain't no different. No motherfuckers, they like that young boy pussy, they like the little girl. And when they in prison, they mess with them chops. They mess
Yes,
with them boys
sir.
in prison. All of them.
Woo.
I
Yes.
would say all of them. A majority of them do.
Yeah, you know, it's cultural. That's what we could best say, boy, because we both witnessed the same thing. Now, like he said, up north, well, we're not cultural. They are cultural. So what you see amongst one, you see that permeated throughout this whole circle. And believe me, I done been in a few prisons, and it's been the same always. You know, they'll sneak off, or they'll take it.
Yeah.
Word up. And there was more prevalent at that than any black people that I seen, bro. Word up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely different. It's definitely different.
And what I'm saying, people, man, I told niggas this nigga Polight was a tree jumper, man. I've been saying this, man. I mean this shit, man. If that was my daughter, I would have took that nigga head off and hit on a stick. He wouldn't have went to trial. He wouldn't have come back from the 7-year plea.
Right.
Nigga would have been dead. Dead. I put that on my
But you know
kid.
what? He was wise in his undertaking, because he made sure that he wasn't around women that had men of responsibility in their lives.
Exactly.
See, so he knew what he was doing. That's how he ended up with these people. Because, like I said, if he would have the conversation with one of them fathers, bro, he wouldn't have done that to that child. That's my point. He know damn well penalty would have been death, and that's why I always told my son's mom, hey, look, son's my boyfriend, I ain't gonna do nothing to you right away. I'm gonna kill what you love first, nigga. That's the art of war. See, and that's the threat niggas need to have. Warfare, bro. We need to learn warfare, man.
Hey, yo,
damn real. He was a damn predator.
You say he was out there partying. Why y'all niggas didn't get him after he left the club, nigga? He was live with that shit, nigga. So if Florida was so gangster, hold up. Let me put my hands in, bro. Listen. If Florida was so gangster, bound, that nigga should have left the club alive, nigga. Let's keep it $150, bro. Let's keep it $150.
But you know what, Born? It's the same thing I just said. Black people, bro, Negroes, we are reactive and not proactive. You're speaking from a proactive, conscious mind. But when you're reactive, you wait until a white man tell you what it is. And that same thing with Sinetta. Oh, I didn't believe it, but now I do. Why you believe it now? Because it came from white lips. So you didn't believe it when black lips was telling you. But now you believe it. So guess what?
He didn't believe it.
It's bullshit.
He didn't believe it when a white woman was saying that her biracial daughter was molested by this black ass, greasy ass nigga. And I'm not saying nigga as in a polite, a brotherly love. So I'm saying nigga as a nigga, an ignorant nigga. He's a black, greasy, ignorant nigga. up on Instagram with his shirt off, posing. Yeah, them boys in prison will like that shit when you pose with that 6-pack, nigga. They're gonna make it an 8-pack once they get up in you.
Yo, you said an 8-pack?
Yeah.
Yo, let me tell you something, bro. That brother that defended him, Sinetta has a lot to recover now, bro. He got a lot of collateral damage. That's why he said he got new videos coming out, and he's going to now try to do the same thing. He's going to try to take advantage of the opportunity and try to exclude himself, absolve himself from his connection and guilt of connection with him, and now use his platform as a way to try to exempt himself or give an exemption for his ignorance. Because you know damn well he got you, he duped you, and he probably paid you or shared some of those finances with you as well, Sinetta. We need to question that. Because I remember him being with him religiously, bro, for a few years.
Hey, yo, let me say something real quick.
Always defending.
I want y'all niggas looking in my face. To all you hoe ass niggas that defended this nigga brother Polight, y'all deserve to be smacked in your mouth, beat up, and stomped in your face. Because we know what is that. Once a child said, man, a grown man did something, you believe that shit. If it was a grown woman, you second guess it. But a child say that shit, you always believe that shit. Because most children don't lie like that.
Facts though, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they have to check and see, like, yo, didn't this shit allegations happen a couple of?
It was semen on the little girl's face and her clothes, bruh. Black Willow, salute. Thanks for the donation. Yo, it was semen on a little girl's face and clothes, man. Semen. Don't that tell you something? You whoremongers?
Facts. You already know. You already know that's the evidence. You can't get away from that. That semen is like your fingerprint, nigga. Wherever you put it, that's where you were.
And the
Word up.
semen, and what people don't understand, the semen is hard to wash off.
Really, you can't. That's the crazy part. It's like blood. Once it fuses with a material, whether it be skin or cloth, paper, wood, anything absorbent, once it fuses with that, it's there. It becomes a part of it. That's why they can go find DNA within someone's evidence, clothing, anything, any article, years and years later, because it becomes one with it. The same thing like your saliva and your fingerprints and all the other uniquely identifying factors of your body. You feel me? Everybody's been made unique, bro. Every person on the planet has been made unique. And because of that, we all have a gift of uniqueness within us. We just have to find it and exploit it. However, the devil's been exploiting our uniqueness by and identifying factors to convict us of crimes, whether guilty or innocent. We got to do better.
Yeah, you're right, bro.
Real
100%
shit.
right. Yeah, but I want to let y'all niggas know. Go ahead, tell me what you gonna say, bro. We're gonna get to
Nah,
we get to that.
I didn't even know it was like that deep. The way the woman's portraying it, he acted like, yo, it was another allegation. He just, you know what I'm saying? He didn't do like said that.
Yo, Matt Benson, we don't hear you, bro.
Yeah. Hey, Born, I want to hear from the other wives. Like, what about where they at? You feel me? Like what have they experienced the same abuse?
Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna let you see right now. We're about to get into it right now. Brother Polight wives. You see? Let me see something. Yeah, hold on. I want y'all to see this first. I want y'all to listen to this cornball ass nigga right here.
The mother, blessings in abundance. The mother and the daughter and the prosecution dropped every single sexual charge. I'm saying it again. The mother, the daughter, my accusers, in addition to the state, the prosecution, all agreed they need to drop all of the sexual charges. So yeah, it's a victory, but it's bittersweet. It's a victory because I was facing life. No parole, no probation. Now you may say, how could this be possible if a minor was so-called molested and there was DNA evidence? And people say DNA don't lie. And I always said, people do.
All right, hold up. For ourselves. Let me say something real quick before we listen to this lying ass nigga. First of all, most pedophilia cases, they get between 1.5 years and 3 years for the first offense. Nigga, you got 7 years. The fuck you talking about? Let's keep it real. Am I lying, John Muhammad? In New Jersey, most pedophile cases, them niggas get 18 months to 3 years. He got 7 years.
Facts.
I seen the shit, bro. I seen niggas get molestation on minor and get 18 months, 12 months. You know what I'm saying? He got 7 years. So hey, let's keep it real, bro. You did it.
Well, let's do this. Psychologist, the expert that so-called found 6.
What you said, bro? Joe, what you about
Now
to say?
go ahead. Let him finish. I got the thought. Go, let him finish.
Amongst a headscarf and a t-shirt. Never mind the fact the whole rape kit said negative. They checked this girl for 5 different types of DNA, finger DNA, all types of different DNA. Checked her vagina, checked her mouth, checked her saliva, checked her excrement, checked her feces, checked her urine. Everything came up negative. You would think because of all the violent acts I was accused of, how I came inside of her, how I came on her face, how I bust her mouth open from penetrating her so physically, that there would be some kind of trace of something, some kind of DNA, but the rape kit came up all negative. So now we're in a conundrum. So how the hell how does the DNA just skip to a t-shirt and a headscarf? Well, the serologist,
this guy's a piece of shit,
did the report that labeled it semen stains. When you got high-powered attorneys such as myself, then what happens is when you spend damn near 200 grand on your defense, you have the right to do depositions. We have our own private investigator. We have our own, guess what, forensics expert. So our forensics expert said this. Our forensics expert said, we want to take a look and see what's going on over there. So when our forensics expert took a look and examined these so-called clothes with semen stains, we had some questions about how did you definitively conclude that that was semen in the first damn place? So guess what happens after that? A deposition is when we interview anybody that's part of the situation, whether it be the mother, the daughter, the people who took the 911 call, whoever. The prosecutor gets to sit in while we interview them, while there's a court-appointed stenographer that types up everything. The prosecutor can hear everything as it goes so they can make a determining factor if they got a case or not. Point in case, we couldn't interview the serologist, Stephanie Thompson, because she mysteriously disappears when we want to question her about how she came up with those results. I'll say it again. The person who said that there was semen stains on the headscarf and the shirt, despite the fact the rape kit tested for 5 different DNAs, considering the egregious acts that I was accused of, the rape kit came up all negative, which science would suggest I did absolutely none of the things that I was accused of. Science would suggest I did absolutely none of the things that I was accused of. Okay? All right? That's what science would suggest. Science would suggest that. But here's this woman talking about this DNA evidence, and then now when we call her so we can interview her, get a deposition, and have it on record with my attorneys questioning them based on the findings of our forensic expert, she's nowhere to be found. So you know what we could do now? We could file a motion to dismiss the DNA for the case. That's what we could do. Because if we go to trial, we won't be able to cross-examine her because suddenly she disappears, she works for some private company, and no one could find her. Now, all the while, the state been giving me opportunities to plead 20 years, sexual offender, plead 15 years, sexual offender. And I'm like, I wouldn't care if you gave me 1 day in prison. So long as you got that label registered sex offender on there, I'm going to trial.
Charlie Hill, salute, bro.
So long as you got that label there, registered sex offender, I'm going to trial because I can never make a plea to something like that. So guess what happens? The state says if we ever want to do interviews, depositions, if we ever want to get a deposition from the mother and a deposition from the daughter, all bets are off. They'll never do an agreement with me. They said they'll never do an agreement. Never do an agreement. Work out an agreement or a plea. I said, I don't give a... My attorneys will tell you straight up, because when you see my attorney video, he's going to tell you straight up. From day one, I said, I'm never doing an agreement to any sexual charges. Interview the mother and the daughter, so they are the last of our deposition.
Yo, Ja, go ahead and speak, Ja. Because this nigga got my hand hurt because I'm ready to punch him in his mouth, bro.
Dog, now all you did was just show the evidence of his delusion to the fact that he's been exposed. The same argument I had with...
What it says?
Now he delusional. Yeah, he delusional in that rant that he's speaking right now. And like I told you, when I debated him about 5 or 6 years ago, he had the same arrogance in his belief or trust in what his finances could bring him. He just said he spent $200,000. He got his own forensic specialist. He did all of this X, Y, and Z, only to be exposed as the person that actually committed the crimes that he's been accused of.
Yeah.
So we really have to look at, like I said, the evidence is in the video, and the video is enough evidence for we as a people to see, and we already seen it. We just had to wait for the white man to validate it. Now that it's validated, his word is exactly what it was then, a lie. It's just a living lie now.
But hold on, we call him, you know what the Spanish we call it? Basura. His word is garbage.
He has no word. He has no word because the works have been shown and proven. I told you, when a man words match his works, that's when you see the man. And his works has not matched his words. So he's not a man amongst men.
He's a man amongst boys. He's
the devil. That's what he's the devil. He's not a man, he's a male.
Yeah, that too. That too, bro. Hold up. Let's
see, males are ruled by their lower self. Males aren't ruled by their higher self, as the brother OG was speaking on. See, your lower self, when that rules you, you're other than self, because now you're just a male, a physical organism belonging to the human family that carries the seed of production. That's what a male is. He's irresponsible, untrustable, wicked, and weak. A man is one that's a human, one belonging to the human family, functioning on civilized intelligence based on reason and logic. That's what a man is. So he's not that. He's not responsible, nor is he trustworthy. And therefore, he's not a man.
Say it again, John. Tell them again. They'll know, because they don't understand what you're saying.
He's a real nigga. that's what he is. He's been made by another man for a purpose other than himself, for only to achieve the position of his slave master. He that same guy that was in the
Dr. Malachi Pork.
Yeah, he the same guy that was in the fields with us when we was picking the cotton, dying to get to be in the house. See, and he didn't want to be in the house working. He wanted to be in the house sitting on the front porch with Master like Stevens and Django. See, and that personality is real. That's why we was given it as an example of it, because many of us, some of us are so fearful of our enemy that we capitulate and submit to anything. Then there's others that admire the strength, the position of the enemy, and want to become him. And what did he do? Like the brother said, when he got to Hollywood, he became Hollywood. And I ask dudes, man, I ask dudes all the time, when you see these guys gallivanting and flaunting with these so-called celebrities, because you're only called a celebrity because society acts or just insinuates that you should be celebrated.
Let me say something. I want to show you something real quick. Hold up, for myself. Let me go to Instagram real quick. I want to show you this nigga, Big Hog. This is his boy. He's from Philly too. Good Muslim brother. But I'm gonna find a nigga for you right now. Let's check this out. Hold on. Let me search. Hold on. Shabazz. Hold on, Shabazz. Shabazz. Hold on. Shabazz. Shabazz the OG. Here we go. I want to show you this shit. Yo, y'all hear me? Y'all hear me? Yo,
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right.
Yeah.
Shabazz the OG. I'm trying to find out what Polight. All right. This nigga Shabazz the OG from Philly. He was caping for Brother Polight. Said, no, it's the devil. That's the OG. Hold on. This is yo, Brother Polight live right now, yeah? Y'all hear me? That's how I smoke. Hold on. Shabazz
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you clear.
Shabazz OG.
Oh, so he was caping for Polight. What you gotta say now?
That's the same ship Sarnetta in. We got to remember, we never believe anything on face value. We only apply truth once it's been totally shown and proven.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with our people. We keep believing things based on presentation and influence rather than expression of evidence.
Let me go right here. Let me go right here. On the platform. Oh, shit. In place.
Hey man, listen. I am Dame. Love, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate everybody that's checking in with me. You know what I'm saying? It was only right, you know, that at some point in time, right? Hey man, listen.
Hold on, hold on 1 second, y'all. Let's see.
I am Dame. Love, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you. To everybody that's checking in with me. You know what I'm saying? It was only right, you know, that at some point in time, right? Amen.
Yo, somebody got their YouTube on. Hold on, see. All right, Shabazz the OG.
I talk about this whole coronavirus situation. Wa alaikum assalam to all the Muslims sending me. Learn from the word hotep in the hieroglyphic or the Medu Neter. It's a table that has bread on top of it. And so the word has been interpolated to mean peace, but initially the word means offering, because I would not come to you without adding value.
Right.
Or if you came to me, you adding value. You feel what I'm saying?
Right, for sure.
So that's in adding value, that's Hotep, or that's bringing about peace. So bread was like one of the #1 things you could give to someone as a sentiment or a token of appreciation. So they wouldn't come to your crib unless they gave you some bread. And then that was a peace offering, because they was bringing about peace through what I have to offer or added value. So I'm saying this is Hotep, because my brother is adding value by allowing me to communicate with people on his network. And the same here. So it's reciprocity, which brings us to my eye. So we're going to talk about this coronavirus. And first and foremost, oh, baby, you get a chance, if you get that Lysol and point it out again, because I want to do that, because some people say, I got Lysol, I don't see it in the back. You making it up. Well, maybe you got the picture from the internet. I'm like, yo, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's
ready to fight. Let me put this right here. Look at this here. Now I beg a different here. The reason why I beg a different is because, Mom, you just put that man in a college where nobody is going to honor him. You hear me? He's a college student. He was hungry. He wasn't an individual who was, out here doing the wrong things. He made a mistake. Mom was supposed to say, listen, son, you made a mistake. Don't let nobody know. It's called the village, man. It's not called lock my son up because he makes a mistake. Now that bell's going to be through the moon. Guess what? It's 10,000 now. He's in Cook County, where all the criminals is at. He may get a mindset where as though it's okay to do these things, because you know what? He's going to miss class and he may fail this semester. So, Mom, you just help your child fail. You just help him fail in life. Mom needs to start packing lunch. Mom needs to go up to the school, find out what's going on. Mom needs to find out personally what's going on with her son. Not send her son to the Chicago Police Department where they're killing our children. They can't even find the true murderers on the streets. And you give them an individual who's what? Doing the right thing in school, man. I mean, I don't know what this world is coming to. All I see is a child that was hungry. But I want to say this too. Since it's accountability time, OG Shabazz, I'm going to snatch your fucking honor, man, and put it to the moon, because guess what? Your honor isn't intact. And at the end of the day, you putting this narrative out to our community, instead of having them say, we got to help the village, you don't have honor. You shouldn't even have a voice, homie. Bottom line, live and direct. Now go home and get your shoe shine box, you mutt, you. We ain't carrying it like that out here, man. You see somebody that you know, especially if they're going in the right direction, you try to help and get some understanding and some reasoning. You don't send them to a can in a penitentiary, damn near worse than the penitentiary, to help get him an understanding of, yo, you learned your lesson. Nah, Mom, talk to your boy, find out what's wrong with him. Live and direct. Hey, yo, this is King Earner coming to you guys live and direct. No, listen, you know I got to carry with pure honor, man. And at night, I got to come with some pure honor. A little fame, get on these socials, and guess what? They act and they front and they start pretending, and if mine.
Yeah, go, yo.
Hey, yo, this is King Earner coming to you guys live and direct. This kid has a nerve talking about the best response.
Hold on.
Yeah, you better not respond. It'll be toothpicks and TMT.
Yo, bruh. Mr. Ohio, salute, bro. I hear you, bro. The black woman is not God. You're a lie. And the truth not in you, nigga. Don't say that on my platform. I got real Muslim brothers and sisters, righteous 5%ers. People acknowledge the self. They absolutely don't feel that way. And we ain't trying to feed our babies that nonsense. Now let's go back to King Earner again.
Born, she's a goddess. which is equal to God as being a God, one that rules with force and power. Not in the element, not in the element.
God, family not cipher. She's an earth, she's a queen, she's a moon, bro. She's not a God.
No, she not the moon.
She's the moon. She's a reflection of the sun. The black woman's a reflection of the sun. The sun is the God. The moon is the earth, bro.
But once she absorbs the light of the sun, she becomes the earth. She produces light. Hold on, God. Hold on. Hold on. Just let me say what I'm saying.
I'm not going to agree with you. I'm not going to agree.
Right, you ain't got to agree. You ain't got to agree. Just hear what I'm saying. That's all. You ain't got to agree to it, but just hear what I'm saying and do the knowledge to it. When we say that, right? When we say that, we have to look at who we are.
Hold on, let's see because I can't see. I'm blind to the fact. Never. Go ahead, bro.
Well, me and OG got a similar and a familiar and a binary stance. I can explain it, being that I'm verbally on the podcast. However, we'll deal with that science later, because right now we got to deal with the God.
Here we go. Oh, there you go.
T-hats all up and down Broad Street, kitten.
There we go.
Hey, yo, this is King Erna coming to you guys live and direct. This kitten has a nerve talking about the best response is no response. Yeah, you better not respond. It'll be toothpicks and TMT hats all up and down Broad Street, kitten. And more than anything, there's an honor in these men in these times. They get a little fame, get on these socials, and guess what? They act and they front and they start pretending, and it mind boggles me. It makes my blood boil, because you don't never know who these guys is. You mean to tell me it's that hard to actually take time out and say, you know what? I'm going to honor the young lady because she was a victim. And when you made that video and you and the kitten Floyd and all y'all pranced around and joked with this guy, y'all knew it was a day after he was arrested on the assault. Y'all showed the world y'all was standing with him. Well, guess what? I'm showing the world that I stand with anybody who's been victimized by a kitten like that. That young lady ain't deserved that. She's only 14. He took her out, then took her to a hotel and repeated the dishonor that most women go through. Have you took time out, Mr. Yizzo, what's popping, to find out what's going on in our community really? Or you just want to talk on what's going on? And as we know, you don't got time to respond. You're busy chasing around Floyd, being his ball handler, that you can't keep your own coin intact. Mr. Yizzo, Wisp Hills Oppen. Let me give y'all some understanding of these type of individuals. They will stand next to anybody of dishonor for the coin. And when you stand next to a man, right, for the coin, what ends up happening is the honor, the respect, the loyalty is only based off that coin. It's not based off of respect. It's not based off of you learning to get your own earn. Come on, Mr. TMT, his hat. What it mean? Touch men on time? I don't understand what's going on here. I'm lost. I'm mind boggled and I'm confused. I'm trying to figure out, because I was trying to get you a pass for some time after you saw that young man mom turn him in, and you said that's what's supposed to be happening. No, before they get to that point, you're supposed to be correcting them. No good mother, no good father is turning their child in, you kidding you? So this is...
All right. He's 100% right with that. This nigga, OG Shabazz is the same nigga that he was, well, I say, he was giving him the benefit of the doubt. Brother Polight is boy. And what I'm saying is, nigga, once it comes to a baby, ain't no benefit of doubt. The nigga's guilty. Period. When it's a baby, a nigga's guilty.
Ain't no benefit of the doubt. Because when you look at it, bro, when a man is accused of that, he has to show and prove his innocence by the witnesses or the proclaimed victims. And case in point, as an example, the white man created this philosophy, this lie, this propagandized lie on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad some 70 years ago. However, those same women that were accused of being so-called abused came before the public and denounced that act, denounced that behavior, so that what was said was now denounced by the victim. In this case, the victim come forth and give a detailed account of the horror that was impressed upon her and her child by this man, and that man was convicted based on that. And we have to look at that and stop giving our people exemptions, but when we know they doing the same thing that the slave master done incited us to do, which is be him.
Yeah.
And that's the result.
We got my little brother Cross back in the building. Cross,
yeah, I'm back in the building. I'm back in the building. No, I was watching too, but I was on the phone. I had something to take care of. But no, I'm gonna piggyback on what Josh said. At the end of the day, you got to hold these type of people accountable. Like I said, you have women on there that, and then he has the audacity to come back later, like I said, with the Instagram thing and post them to make it seem like need, but yeah, you know, it's a win for everybody. I was looking at life. Well, you wasn't looking at life. It would have been your life, but it was about 70 some years. So you took 70 some years and you put it down to 7 and you said that's a win. And I just hate the fact that, and I know what the woman didn't want to take a daughter through, but I think it would have made a major impact if he had to be registered. Because I just don't think that that's fair that he did that. And now because of that, he's not registered. He can take the classes, but now he can still pursue his career. He still could be on the internet because think about it. I told you earlier on Instagram, if he is charged with that, he cannot have a social media platform because we don't know who watches him.
That's what I'm saying. That's fucked up. But I also understand what the woman's talking about. She got a mixed breed daughter. You know what I'm saying? And she want to put her daughter through that shit, going through court
I totally
trial.
get it. No, and I totally get it. I think that's the sad part is, yes, victory was done, but victory wasn't totally won, if that makes sense. Like, I think that he would have been a better example because that also his predecessor, which is, like you said, Dr. Pork, which he just followed the same thing. The difference is he was smart enough for somebody that was help backing him.
Hold on. At Sinetta Studios, he followed Dr. Pork. He left the 5% Nation. He left the Nation of Islam and the 5% Nation to follow Dr. Malachi York too. So he's held accountable too because he promoted this bullshit of these niggas.
Right. And I think, like you say, once they looked at the blueprint and knew they had took other things from other religions, people should have really analyzed it. I think they maybe, you know, with us and our culture was looking for something maybe different. I don't know. But I just think that when it came to that child being violated, I'm glad that justice was served. I'm glad he got something. But again, when he come out the 7 years and 10 years probation, when he come out and they said it could be reduced even more, all he gonna do is come back with the same propaganda without having any, you know what I'm saying, repercussions.
And he talking about, I would have got 7 years. He said I would have got 7 years if I molested that girl. I know niggas that copped out to 18 months for molesting minors that was 10 and 11 years old, nigga.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Jersey, man.
Yeah. Jersey got a prison that's specially made for that.
Wow,
for rapists and pedophiles and molesters. Yeah. So back to what you was building on, though, Cross, when we look at the association, see, they have been deceiving people based upon this newfound deceptive influence called wokeness. So you have killed the acknowledgement of religion. And when we talk about religion, we're not just talking about the functionality of church. We're talking about the spirituality of one's mind when striving to do what is right. So when we look at what he has done, what they have done, they have created this new, new culture of, hey, religion in its formal religion is bad. You need to be a self-thinker. You need to be a self-creator. You need to be a self-producer and separate yourself from the religious order or the actual discipline, because religious order has law and the law has penalties. And once the devil, the powers that be, have influenced the people to step outside of or create an antitrust towards religion, regardless of what religion it is, if it's a duty or a culture of rightfulness, we have been tricked into not even dealing with that because of the penalty that comes with that. Now we live in a world that people function without penalty. And that's what the internet has influenced everyone to do. Like the brother said, everybody's on here trying to be something they're not. And we were just talking earlier when I said I got in the arguments on the boxing sites a couple years ago, and I didn't understand the internet. So I started getting rambunctious and emotional, inviting niggas to a fight. Like, nigga, if you live anywhere in the tri-state area, meet me at a gym. We could spar, we could fight, we could work out together. Like anything to get them to stop talking stupid stuff to a real man that's a real fighter. So we live in a world now that's been influenced, or a world that has an influence that people are already made customary to. So we believe what's on the internet without question. Like when you talk to a child now that's under the age of 30 and you can test them with anything intellectual, the first thing they'll say, they'll deny the human and say, let's ask Google. And Google ain't never been human. So that's the reality that we living in. And he took advantage of that like other brothers are doing.
Nah, that's real facts. Yeah, I just think, like I said again, salute to that mother that was able to say her piece, in that time. And like I said, not to put that child in there, but I think it's just, like I said, again, the accountability. And I will hope everybody, once they saw this and what we put out there, is that people start making the right choices, because you only do what your options allow. So if you see that and you know that, and the predecessor was the same way, like they say, man, the apple don't fall too far from the tree.
That's factual, Cross. I want to share something with that on the child. The reason that they didn't put the 14-year-old on the stand is because the cross defense, the defense attorney, could have manipulated her into giving him a case or a reason of doubt, which would have exonerated him. So you keep her away from that, especially the experience, so that they don't have a disadvantage when it comes to dealing with him. So that's why they didn't put her on the stand.
Side, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it's like the catch-22. No, I'm with y'all. Regardless, we got to win out of the situation, and I understand protecting the innocent. That's the most important thing. Protect the innocent. But like I said, a lot of times the catch-22 is like, okay, we give up this to give this right here. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I said those type of people prey on the weak like that, because they know, they can be able to do that. That's why I said, for a man to get on that after you plead to doing that, and then get on there and go and do a Instagram and talk about we won, like, that's crazy to me.
Bro, I wish he was going to jail in California, bro. Word up. Word is born. Cause them white boys over there, the worst punishment I ever seen done to a man was a white boy that raped his niece in New York. And them white boys, the black boys was beating them up when they seen them on the news. But you know what them white boys did? They ran down on them in the shower, bro. And that was the punishment.
Yo, bro, even in Jersey, bro, in certain prisons, one for coming in, like I had this is the hub block in the building. Philly, stand up. Philly, stand up. We got the hub block in the building.
Much love and respect, boy. You already know how we carry it. Salute, brother. What's up, God? What's up? What's up, Cross?
What's up, bud? What's up, God?
I can't complain. Another day. I'm glad I caught the topic, man. It's a heavy John right here, man.
Facts.
Yo,
facts.
What you think about this nigga? This podcast nigga, brother Polight, getting 7 years for molestation of a minor, bro.
Man, for one, he deserved the worst treatment. I hope when he go up in the mountains. Matter of fact, not I hope. I know he gonna get the treatment when he go up in the mountains.
He in Florida. He in Florida. He going to mountains, bro.
Where he at?
Florida.
Still, I know he's definitely still better get the treatment out there. I heard them Jones rough up top. You know what I'm saying, in Florida.
They rough, but they're not rough. They're not like they is up here, bro. We having that shit.
All
I've been in
right.
Florida, California, all them sunshine states. Them they be weird as hell, bro. And the feds, watch the feds. A lot of
Now
them
you know the Aryans will get him on the West Coast. Word up. The Aryans will get his ass out west.
That was the first thing, and I'm gonna let the hood bill. But that was the first thing. Remember yesterday, Ken? I said, okay, you go from having all this, and then you still take a 7-year plea. What you did was, what I tell you, I said the first thing I said is he registered as a sex offender, and then when he took that 7 year, that was the clause he did not want. So that's why he took that 7 year, because he didn't want that title on his jacket, even though he got it, but he doesn't legally have it, as he has to go everywhere and register. So that's what makes it scary.
That man lawyer told him he was guilty, and you heard that judge, bro. He was facing 161 years. So when that lawyer told him he was guilty, he pleaded to the first thing his lawyer can get him for that $200,000. However, we should never let him escape. That's my point. He should want to stay. If he survived in jail, he should want to be there. We should be waiting for him when he come out. That's my point. And what I'm saying is that if he was on the West Coast and the Aryan Brotherhood knew that he did this to a white girl, ooh, that's my point. See, that's the and he in Florida though. He in Florida, so Florida's the home of the redneck. So it's very likely that it might happen there too.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that's what hurt when before all of this stuff happened. You have a lot of people that speak up and they speak about righteous things, and the people jump behind them. And then once they jump behind them, they make them people feel way more powerful than what they should feel, instead of just accepting the message and carrying it. He had such a heavy following where people was kissing the ground that this dude walked on. Even after the allegations, you had some people going in on him, and then some people was like, no, innocent until proven guilty. People was still vouching for him and stuff like that. So then when you got people a person that might be righteous, they might be for the people, it'd be hard to trust them, because it's like when people get in a position of power, it's like they let the people down and expose their true hand and stuff like that.
No, that's real. And not only that, to piggyback on that, like I said again, I just felt like outside the culture, that woman exposed him. But then you got to ask yourself, how many people in our culture he did that to? The women that he was with before he got that.
Hey, Cross, that's why I want to know from the wives, these other wives that he's been running around with. You feel me? And to what the brother Hood was saying, we can only trust those who show and prove that they're trustworthy. And you can trust a man when his works match his words. So when you be talking all that stuff, it could just be a bunch of bullshit. A bunch of it could be a bag of lies, but lies has no work. When you lie, there's no physical evidence to show and prove it. That's why we know it's a lie. See? So you say you got $1 million, but you running around here looking stupid. Yeah, you know why? Because you ain't really got $1 million. You just lied about it. Now you done rented this car. You live in an apartment somewhere, or with your parents, and you done rented this car, and you're on the internet like, hey, look at me. I'm balling. I got it. But in reality, it's about image over integrity. And that's where the deception in our society has come. We are now more dedicated to having an image rather than being a man or a woman of integrity.
Pause up. Lawrence Robinson, I appreciate you, bro. I said this shit when it first happened. I knew he did it because he's the son of Dr. Malachi Pork. I knew he did it.
Yeah, those type of allegations don't just pop up regular like that.
But they had said the same thing about Sanetta at one time, bro.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I said something about back when I first said it. I left it alone because, you know what I'm saying, I know Sanetta is 10 cousin. I'm like, I'm gonna leave it alone because I don't know about much facts into it. They said something about it then, about him and his wife's niece, something like that.
Damn. And that's the
well, you know that's one of the main tools of the enemy, though. He loves to use that because that's the final straw. So we're used to that. That's why we be doubting the accusation sometimes. But however, when you look at the behavior of Polight, then you, like the Brotherhood said, when you look at the transition, where you go from your words to your actions, that's what gives us clarity into what we actually thought, and now we can have belief within, because it's over. The evidence has already shown and proven what it is. And when you get that DNA on someone, bro, you was there doing what they said you was doing. And we ain't gonna act like that it wasn't. You feel me? And that's the point to us in our community.
And another key factor, you're absolutely right. And another key factor is, how old was this kid?
14.
Okay, so why is this 14-year-old little girl in the presence of another man? As parents, whoever the parents or guardians of that little girl, no different than the parents and guardians of the girls that was with R. Kelly. If you a lot of times these parents, they look at people, and back to what I said about like idolizing people and feel like, oh, they so good, they so this, so that, because they hear speeches or they see that they're an entertainer, and they let their children be around these. Come on, man, like you can't, like how this world is, bro. You can't even trust your daughter around an uncle by themselves or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you got your daughter around somebody that you feel like is a person in power. If you as an adult is listening to somebody, that's one thing, but you should never have your child, receiving messages or mentorship from another man, from another adult, because they take full advantage, because those type of guys, they see the weakness in those parents.
Yeah. And the thing about it was, like the woman said, like he was talking to her, hollering at her, and I think she just looked at it like the fact, okay, he a good dude because he didn't get nothing foul or try to come. But at the same time, for you to get to the point where she got bruises and a busted mouth and all this, bro, like you really on some other type stuff, like.
And Cross, we also got to address. We also got to address the responsibility, like I just said earlier, image over integrity. The reason her daughter was a victim because the mother was chasing image. See, she even admitted that he thought that money was going to prevent her from having him convicted. See, so she was pursuing the bag, not realizing that she was also sacrificing herself and her daughter to a man that already planned to do what he did before he got with him, because he was doing it to others. And that's why I want to hear from them other wives. And I don't know why they silent. They should either be defending their husband, or they should be admonishing their husband for what he's done.
That's true.
If they not speaking up, that mean they condone it. You'd be surprised how many adults and stuff, they turn their head the other way. We've seen numerous occasions where it could be a random guy around, even the father, as crazy as this world is, and they be coming to their parents like, he did this to me, he did that to me, and these parents, they reject it. They make it like the child is lying. They make it like, you know what I mean, like a kid is trying to destroy the relationship that they think that they have with this adult. So it's just a crazy world. It could have went so many ways, but it's a parent's fault for allowing a minor, to just be random in situations with an adult for these type of events to even take place.
Exactly. Why was she interacting with him? And she was left alone with him to be interacting with him. And he became her stepfather when he so-called married her husband, which still hasn't been proven to be legal. Just because they say they're his wives or say they're married doesn't prove they have a legal marriage, because she had none of that expression in her statements. She was talking like he was a boyfriend that came into her life and took advantage of her daughter and her as well. See, so you're right 100%. But we also got to
Exactly.
question what's being presented to us. Always question what's being presented to you.
When I had came home and I came home in 2009, and it like, you know what I mean, my cousin had linked me up with this old head, and old head had like these stands downtown. Them Jones, they was like hitting numbers. He sold like the urban books, like the Jones people read in jail, like True to the Game and all that type of stuff. So old head had assigned me to my own stand, and it was another brother, you know what I mean, an old head that I was working with. So old head seemed cool. We was talking, laughing every day. So one day he had invited like everybody that was working on all the different stands. He had a crib, like it was like a nice crib out Jersey where he lived with his wife. So we was all over there, and old head was talking about, you know, the time that he did, and he was like, you know what, I had he said he had caught a body at a bar because somebody had tried to rob it, and you know he had pulled this knife out, and you know he said, you know, he banged him out basically, and old head had Chuck. So like 6 months go by, and me and my wife was looking for a spot. Now his wife, remind you, when he told us this story, his wife was right there. So he had like properties. His wife had properties all through the city. So they was trying to rent us one of these spots, and then we had went and looked at it. We was about to rent the joint. Probably like a month later, they got that joint. I think it was called like Megan's Law or something.
Yeah.
Man, we looked on there and checked the area. Old head name popped up right under the joint, and he was actually booked for one of them type cases. So he was a registered offender. So you mean to tell me that the wife that he was married with, while he was sitting up there telling us this story, that he had rocked somebody, and the whole time, you know, he had did some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And she just sitting there and condoning it. So it just show you that, you know, some women, they will go with the flow, especially if they, you know what I'm saying, love the man, or they might also be sick too. Like some people, you'll be surprised how many people will let something happen to their own kid.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you something. My father's wife was the first piece of pussy I ever had, and I was 10, 11 years old. My father rested, he returned to the essence. But his wife was the first piece of pussy I ever had. I was 10 to 11 years old.
That's crazy.
I'm just saying, it shit happens, bro.
Yeah, cause it go like that. It go like that both ways too. You got a lot of women predators. Look how many teachers getting caught up with kids in school and stuff like that. It's like, damn.
Right. No, that's for real.
What we also have to look at is the source. And a lot of times we just be, you know, attentive to the result or the effect. But when you look at the source, this comes from 216 years of consistent treatment, culture, and behavior. So genetically, some of us still have it and enact it. And it's still happening because it happens in our community quite often. Our black men are functioning. They're functioning on the plane of their. No, it's not making an excuse. I'm explaining the condition, because often if we just dismiss the explanation of the condition, it keeps happening, and people that don't know have no understanding to identify the condition when it's happening to them. So we should be proactive in explaining the condition so we can give others insight as to how to identify the condition, because it is a condition. And that woman, she may have been a victim prior to someone in her family or someone connected to her, which is why she allowed her daughter to have access to this man that she believes may or would not do what he did.
That's a
and
fact.
we know where it comes from. It comes from our conditioning from a slave master, bro. And we can't let him get away with the fact that he is the source code to all of this, because this is not in our history before we was made slaves.
God, I want to say something, you know what I'm saying? Because before we was made slaves, it was still raping over in Africa, bro. It was still molestations and raping in Africa. They're 100 tribe down, and they raped the tribe, all the tribe women.
But that's speaking of a savage. That was the savage. That was the savage in war, or what they say was tribal wars. However, even that was admonished because it wasn't cultural. In this world, with them, it's cultural. Just take Greece and Rome. Look at the history of Caesar. Caesar told a man, hey, the man brung his daughter to be his consort. He asked the man, is your daughter a virgin? He said, yes, sire. He went and turned to ask the daughter, was your father a virgin? She said she don't know. Caesar then had sex with the father in front of the daughter and had sex with the daughter in front of the father. This is their practice. So when we look at where we get it from, this is not within us. That's why we are so disgusted at it. And other people can look at it so lightly.
Nah, that's real. That's facts.
Oh, yo, but what I want you to see right now, SV Twitter, check this out. That's what I want you to see. When you say you want to see, I want you to hear. Hold on 1 second.
To have unsupervised contact with children, the defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours mailed to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea. Additionally, there will be a stay-away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
Oh my gosh.
If it hadn't been for one simple safety item, this could have been a family tragedy.
House fires occur in this country every 87 seconds.
350,000 houses.
Yo, he spent $200,000 on his trial, but only got a $25,000 restitution
Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you were going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of delivery to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931? Do you understand everything that I've said thus far? Yeah. Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete the sex offender treatment program. That you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page, next to defendant's initials MN, did you in fact affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4? Now it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Note, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agreed to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agreed that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael North. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including your lawyer, told you anything differently than what I just told you?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication affecting your ability to understand me?
No.
Is anybody forcing, threatening, or coercing you to enter into this plea?
No.
Do you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, the entry of this plea will have negative immigration consequences, including deportation and removal?
I understand.
You had the right, sir, to have gone to a jury trial where your lawyer had the ability to compel the attendance of witnesses on your behalf, the ability to confront and cross-examine the witnesses and evidence against you. You had the right to testify just like any other witness or remain silent, and your silence could not have been used against you if you went to a jury trial. You also had the right to appeal any mistakes that I would have made during the course of the trial, and the right to hold the state of Florida to the burden of proving these charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand, sir, that by entering into this plea, that you are giving up all of these rights and we will not have a jury trial?
He knows.
Shit. Have you discussed this plea with your lawyer?
Yes.
Has he answered all of your questions?
Absolutely.
Are you satisfied with your lawyer's services and advice?
Definitely.
Did the state provide all the discovery in your possession to the defense? Yes. Did the defense review all of the discovery in your possession with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do both sides know of any physical evidence containing DNA that would exonerate the defendant? No.
There you are.
And do both sides stipulate to a factual basis for this plea? Yes. And the court has reviewed the arrest affidavit, makes the finding that there is a factual basis for the plea. Mr. Noak, are there any witnesses or is there any evidence that you wanted your lawyer to investigate or me to receive before entering into this plea?
No.
All right. The court finds that the defendant understands the nature of the charges against him and the consequences of this plea, that he has been represented by competent and effective assistance.
Hold up. Remember that video he did, the live he did, where he said, nah, my attorneys and my people, they didn't find no evidence of what you call of sexual molestation or semen or her.
Yeah, he said they didn't find no DNA evidence.
There you go.
That's what he said.
What he said. Now what he saying now?
Oh, he's saying he's saying right now. My name is Michael Noor, and I'm checking in because I've been sentenced to 7 years. That's what he's saying right now. He checking in, nigga. Get that bag.
Hey, yo, Hub Block. I'm about to move it up. So I want you to hear this.
Okay.
Hold up.
Defendant is knowingly, voluntarily, and
And did you hear? He said knowingly and voluntarily. Knowingly and voluntarily.
Is not.
That's shit crazy.
2.5 years of pain, shock, disbelief, PTSD, constant nightmares.
She said PTSD and constant nightmares. That nigga going to jail.
And daily triggers. Trying to help my daughter heal when I'm not even healed myself. What you have done to my daughter, myself, and my entire family is inexcusable. You hurt us all. You made me believe that you were such a great man.
Hey, Born, you know what we didn't address, Born? We didn't address his sentence.
Address his sentence.
He got 7 years. Bro, he got 7 years, Born. That means he could be out in 2 years. We don't know the minimum.
Right.
Yeah, the 7 years was the max.
Listen. No, 7 years.
You got to do 85%.
Listen, he got 7 years or 10 years probation. So after he do 7 years,
right,
then he get 10 years probation. He ain't gonna be on no 2.5 years, bro. Now in Florida, motherfuckers crazy at the time, bro. My cousin go to a body when he was 15, bro. And the nigga, I'm 47, the nigga is 45 right now. He's still locked up, bro. And he's 50 when he caught his body. He caught one body.
Well, if they make you do every day, I'm gonna definitely look it up because he may have a minimum. He may be able to get out in a couple years, like that cop that killed that brother in Texas.
Well, you know,
out already.
You can get
a minimum out already, bro.
But they also said too. Remember, they said on good condition he could be off earlier. So therefore, that's what I'm saying. Like they saying
That's my point.
He could be on parole earlier, not his time. Parole earlier, not his time. He was parole earlier with this condition.
Yeah, but definitely, definitely check it out, Born, and see if he got a minimum to that 7.
New York Beast, salute to the God. New York Beast in the building. Yeah, show that nigga some love.
Salute.
And you know something else, Born? They didn't, you know, down here, I know in New York, they would have charged them one for that. They would have charged him for the rape, but they also would have gave him them assault charges. The bruises all over her body, beating her face up, drugging her, inducing alcohol and poisoning her, and kidnapping. That's technically kidnapping, bro, because he had her in a hotel room without her mom's knowledge. Yeah. All of them are charges that he didn't get.
Sign in is like,
you're not guilty yet.
Those are all the charges were on it? Oh, man. Dangerous.
What Sinetta can easily convict someone in popular opinion all the time, but now we got to wait for the white man to give you acknowledgement of his guilt.
Right.
When you should, if that's your brother, you should have went to him first with an aggression, because see, Born can't be accused of that without me and Born having a private conversation, and I'm really in a physical, mental, and emotional aggression to my brother. I need to know the truth, bro, because you can't pin this on me.
Right.
In no way. And if I'm holding hands with you, my brother, that mean I done been had a kid in my left hand while I was holding your right hand. And that's not me. So Sinetta should have been a man and separated himself from the beginning. And the best way you could say is, bro, I don't know whether he did it or not because I wasn't there. However, the evidence will show and prove itself, and then make your statement. Then I will not stand with him during this process, because remember, Sinetta never made it to Hollywood, but Polight did. Imagine if Sinetta was in Hollywood with Polight. See, and that's what he was hoping for. That's why he stayed on Polight's side until the white man said, "Hey, he ain't going nowhere, and if you want to be with him, you going where he going." Oh, I ain't with that man now. Nah, nigga, stand 10 toes down like you was before with your brother when y'all was making that money.
I'm black and I'm proud.
And it shows you how crazy the world is when you got non-violent drug offenders. They give you 50, 25 years if you get caught with a brick. But you do something like that and destroy an innocent kid, and you be back on the streets before people. You know what I'm saying? You be right back home.
They get all the protection in jail. Probably gonna do a level 1 security. I don't know. Stupid.
Facts. He gonna be in there working with them COs.
Oh, he definitely going to a camp though. He ain't going to no max. That's what they do to them. And this is my point. Who original crime is that? Why is it so lenient? See, when I get in arguments with white people on the internet, you know, as soon as they start calling me a nigga and all those stuff, I got this dictionary of all of these words for them that they never even heard. So when I tell a man your grandfather and your grandfather is your father too, or your uncle is your daddy, see that type stuff comes from their culture, their heritage. So of course, when you get caught with it, judge, for touching your daughter when she was 10, you want to make it lenient on your friend on your
Real
cousin, on
shit.
your brother, on your father that's been
Talk
doing
that
that
talk,
stuff.
Josh.
Bro, white men been touching their sons when they didn't have daughters. This is historical fact. And many have been convicted on it. And just look at the priesthood of the Catholic Church. See? When you call the altar boy, what that mean? See, it's really not an altar boy or a man that commissions with the priest. It's a young boy that the priest takes advantage of. See, that's just American culture. So we got to look at why there's a leniency to it, because the crime of selling drugs was put into place so that you could lock us away forever. That's why you don't see them selling drugs or getting caught for selling drugs when they're the ones that produce the drugs and import the drug. It's all a system of things, bro. And we got to change ourselves so we can change the system, because the system ain't going to change, bro. We got to kill this system, man. And we got to kill it within ourselves first, starting with polite ass.
We know Polite is savage and 2.5 years. And he can get everything he deserves.
7 years.
7 years ain't
Real
shit,
sad.
bro. 7 years ain't shit.
Nah,
That's a
7
fact.
years ain't nothing.
That's a fact. He need to be held accountable when he come home.
Yep.
That's what I was saying. Where the streets at? But then again, we got to be honest. See, because the streets will say, well, he ain't do it to somebody black. See, so we got to look at the duality of it.
Hold on, the little girl is black. She mixed. She's black. She mixed, bro.
What? No. You know our mindset, our philosophy. It's just when black people look at it, and you look at the white woman that he chose to be with, and remember that's his stepdaughter. That ain't his fifth biological.
Right.
You feel me? Like that's the reality. So he well, and that's why I want to hear from those other women. And bro, one time he had 5 women with him talking about they were all his wives. 5 women. I'm like, what? Every week he with a different wife? And I said it then. He was on some old Dr. York shit. And that's what he's doing, following his father's footsteps, bro.
Dr. Pork.
That's a fact.
Dr. Pork, like I said, I've been calling him Dr. Pork for years. You know that, hood block.
Yeah.
But yo, man, I appreciate everybody for coming up here, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been for over 2.5 hours, man. But I wanted to get this shit out there so everybody can see. Everybody will follow this nigga. What's the nigga name? Oh, what's the nigga name? Hold on. What's the nigga name? OG Hot from Philly. The nigga I'll tell you, let me think. The nigga named OG Hot. He's from Philly, yo. I'll tell you right now.
What's his name? OG Hot?
Yeah, he's on Instagram heavy. Hold up.
Okay.
I'm gonna say right now. I'm about to pull up for you right now.
Let's go see him.
And OG Shabazz.
Oh, OG Shabazz. Yeah, I heard of him. I definitely heard of him.
Here we go right here, bro. Before we go,
What if you could do SEO smarter and faster? With Wix, you can edit your meta.
Hey, yo, this is King Erna coming to you guys live and direct. This kid has a nerve talking about the best response is no response. Yeah, you better not respond. It'll be toothpicks and TMT hats all up and down Broad Street, kitten. And more than anything, where's the honor in these men in these times? They get a little fame, get on these socials, and guess what? They act and they front and they start pretending, and it mind boggles me. It makes my blood boil because you don't never know who these guys is. You mean to tell me it's that hard to actually take time out and say, you know what? I'm gonna honor the young lady because she was a victim. And when you made that video and you and the kitten Floyd and all y'all pranced around and joked with this guy, y'all knew it was a day after he was arrested on the assault. Y'all showed the world y'all was standing with him. Well, guess what? I'm showing the world that I stand with anybody who's been victimized by a kitten like that. That young lady ain't deserved that. She's only 14. He took her out, then took her to a hotel and repeated the dishonor that most women go through. Have you took time out, Mr. Yizzo, what's popping, to find out what's going on in our community really? Or you just want to talk on what's going on? And as we know, you don't got time to respond. You're busy chasing around Floyd, being his ball handler, that you can't keep your own woman intact. Mr. Yizzo, Wisp Hills hopping. Let me give y'all some understanding of these type of individuals. They will stand next to anybody of dishonor for the coin. And when you stand next to a man, right, for the coin, what ends up happening is the honor, the respect, the loyalty is only based off that coin. It's not based off of respect. It's not based off of you learning to get your own earn. Come on, Mr. TMT, his hat. What it mean? Touch men on time? I don't understand what's going on here. I'm lost. I'm mind boggled and I'm confused. I'm trying to figure out, because I was trying to get you a pass for some time after you saw that young man mom turn him in, and you said that's what's supposed to be happening. No, before they get to that point, you're supposed to be correcting them. No good mother, no good father is turning their child in, you kidding you? So this is all an observation of who you really is. You're not a man. And what you want carried, we can carry it. I'm sure it's not the way that, you claim you used to ride. So, a ring is always accessible to you type kittens, man. I'll drop.
Yo. Yo, hood block. What's up, SB Twins? What's up, Twins? Speak this shit, nigga. That's some Philly shit, nigga. I'm just putting the Philly shit out there. 2 Philly Bulls going against it. Two Philly Bulls, bro. 2 Philly Bulls. Twins, what's up, nigga? Don't get quiet now, niggas. 2 Philly Bulls going against you. Yo, John Muhammad, Twins get quiet in the church right now. 2 Philly Bulls, you don't want to get a medal of that shit. Yo, Twins, you there? The Hood Blogger. The Hood Blogger, are you there, bruh? Well, the Hood Blogger got nothing to say, y'all. And I don't got nothing to say about it. I'm about to end this shit.
I'm definitely my fault, boy. Yeah, that was a phone call in the other line. My fault. I didn't even get to catch the joint. My fault.
You didn't catch it?
Yeah, I had to answer a call. It was an important call in the other line. That's why I didn't do nothing.
That's the Philly niggas bring excuse. I'm gonna go right back. So you want to play?
All right, I'm tuned.
Hold on. You want to play? I'm gonna go right back on it. OG Shabazz. Hold on, here you go, right here. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm tuned in.
That's not the one. That's not the one. Here you go. That's not the one. That's another one.
Petty because he's years old. What's popping? Nothing ain't popping, you mutt you. Nothing is popping. I've been waiting all day. You know, you're one of them type of kittens, OG Shabazz, who sits up there and say, I'm standing by the Petty. I'm standing with this Petty because he's my friend. Floyd's my friend. But hold up, where's your honor for the victim? Now, we ain't talking about something that's street. We ain't talking about a Rizat, so you don't got to be scared to comment on this. All you got to do is be a man and point out that your man is a petty lover. He's live and direct in a courtroom. Well, he isn't there, but his lawyers are there actually doing a plea agreement for him. You know his name more than anybody, right? Well, why aren't you attacking this with honor? You don't have love for the victim? You don't care because you stood with him against the victim, not knowing if he was guilty or not. But here it is, the mud is guilty, and you're quiet as a church mouse. And you keep claiming Philly with this nut-ass hat on. Don't nobody from Philly dress like you dress, kitten. Let me give you some understanding. Your honor is snatched. Floyd's honor is snatched, and guess what? You mutts can never give it back. And y'all keep talking this money thing when you're in and out of motels in Miami. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. What about your honor? Is your honor intact? No, it's not. Live and direct.
Yeah.
Coming to you live and direct.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. You know, you
Me
sitting up
too,
here,
bro.
you standing with them and got something to say after the allegations come up. You jump into the man's defense, and that's the first strike right there. You don't jump to no man. You know what I'm saying? Offense, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. When that type stuff get mentioned, then it hit the airwaves, and you don't got nothing to say. If you're gonna jump out the window like that for somebody with those type of allegations, then when it do hit the air, when it do hit the air
right now.
When it do hit the air, you need to apologize for even speaking up for that man.
Yep.
You know, address that man. And that man,
That would be the honorable thing to do.
Exactly. You deserve that
Hey, hold
child
on,
and his
hold on.
family.
And before we finish, I want to put up one more thing. Shout out to my big brother Benny Bam from the Supreme Team, man. Hold up. What King Earl? Yo, your niggas got all you kittens want to talk.
Exactly.
And talk about Benny was a rat. Nah, my brother Benny the rat. Yo, King Erner, he called me, he kept it real, bro. So I gotta respect that.
Yeah, I definitely got stuff to say about that.
Yeah, we need to do a show on that. For real.
Let me see. I'll find that shit. He cleaned that shit up. I respect that shit. Hold on.
Yeah, that's crazy how that.
Yeah, here we go, y'all. Here we go, y'all. We're gonna go right there. So I want all you niggas to know my bro Benny is not a fucking rat. I ain't even say nothing about it because I know what it is already. I let other niggas come up and clean this shit up. So here we go. Here's King Erner live and direct.
King Erner coming to you guys live and direct. Yo, listen, you know I got to carry with pure honor, man. And tonight I got to come with some pure honor in reference to Bimmy. You know, a couple days ago, everybody went crazy online snatching honor. But tonight, King Erner got to stand up like a Milzan. You hear me? I got to stand up 1,000% and give that man his honors back. Now, the reason why I'm giving him his honors back is because I actually looked into the case itself. Mark Pearson's petitioner, you know, I guess one of the individuals who was accused of the crime. The paperwork will be in my bio on Instagram, and it will be in the comment section on YouTube. What I want to point out here is very simple. And anybody that clicked the link, all you have to do is go to page 39 and just continue to read. But you'll see on page 39, it says clearly how no one who was actually interviewed in this case actually witnessed or said they witnessed the homicide. Bunch of rumors, bunch of real acts, whatever the case may be. Well, I think the confusion is that the paperwork that was put out is saying James Atney, when there's only one James mentioned by the courts. I'm not speaking about street paperwork or somebody got. I don't know about any of that type of nonsense. All I can say to you is that the court documents as referred here in the paperwork that you're about to read states clearly that a James Holland. Now, if that's some type of nickname or something, then of course his honor would be snatched. But I can't say that, and you can't neither. So just to make it a lot more clear to everyone, this paperwork right here speaks clearly from the courts, and it does not mention music as one who witnessed the crime. Even if this guy music is an informant or whatever he is, he never witnessed, he never gave a statement stating these things. And or you have to understand that Bimmy name isn't mentioned here, and all Bimmy is standing on the honor of signing an affidavit that his friend Troy Singleton had him sign and give to his lawyer. If you don't know, just to let y'all know, if you're signing an affidavit in defense of your friend, exonerating your friend, saying your friend wasn't there and your friend has nothing to do with it, that's not a real act. Now, let me explain myself as a man of honor. The reason why I went ahead and grinded him to sawdust is because I felt a way about an incident that me and Bimmy had that wasn't a full disrespect on either of our part, but someone that he's cool with and that I'm cool with, a mutual friend, says something disrespectful about me jokingly online, and I didn't like it. So I came full throttle in the honors of my own respect because I thought that Benny, as a man of honor, as a Muslim, would have spoke up and told them guys, yo, cool that out, man. Y'all pumping out fake, propaganda. So I was easy to be persuaded when I saw the James and a case at hand. But as a man that been through instances like this before, where you may have made a mistake and said this person was a real at and you had to give it honor back, I made sure I went further and I went deeper. And it is hereby understood and honored on this date, 9/5/2023, that